Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Deep Rock Galactic. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zerel. Let's get to it. So today we're doing the deep dive, codenamed Fractured Return. But before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. Stage 1 of the deep dive has regenerative bugs, collecting alien eggs, and collecting crystallized morkite. Alien eggs, of course, you're going to look for that organic material on the sides of the level and dig in towards that pulsing red light. That'll tell you where the egg's at. Pull out that egg, put it in the mule, and carry on. Now, every time you pull an egg from that organic material, you have a chance of creating a swarm. Even if you don't, there is a certain number of enemies that will spawn as a result because they don't like you taking their eggs. Now, the crystallized morkite, you're going to look for that blue-gray glowing spots along the level and then just mine it like you would any other mineral. Now, the deep dive doesn't have regional minerals like normal missions. It only has gold and nitra, and of course on this stage you also have morkite. So once you have all the alien eggs and the morkite, it's time to call in the drop pod and make your way out.
Excellent. Drop pod inbound. Deep dive stage wrapping up.
Now, this is a good time to point out that the deep dive is a 3-stage raid-like environment where you can play by yourself with your buddy Bosco or with up to 3 other friends, either pre-made or match-made. Just know that if you're playing solo with Bosco, even though Bosco is a workhorse, it may take you a little bit longer if you're playing solo than if you're playing with other people. It's just more sets of eyes, more guns, and more people to work on objectives, more or less autonomously, but your mileage may vary depending on how much experience the other players have with the deep dive. So follow those posts, those glowing posts, those arrows back to the drop pod. Don't forget to keep your eyes open for nitra and gold. Anything that you might have missed on the way in, you can get on the way out, because you will have 5 minutes to get back on the drop pod, so you've got time to do a little bit of mining before the drop pod will leave without you. If the timer does get to 0, of course, it's going to leave and leave you behind. If there are no dwarves on the drop pod, then you failed and you'll have to restart. Now you can go back to the drop pod, kind of lock in step with the mule, or you can make your way there ahead of time if you know about where it's at, or you can just follow the post like I did back. Once the mule has already docked, the door will be open and you can move on to the next stage. And there we go, 1/3 of the way through the deep dive, on to stage number 2. Alright, stage number 2 of the deep dive. This time around we have Exploder Infestation, plus we're going to be taking on Dreadnoughts and recovering 1 black box. So Exploder Infestation, of course, means that you're going to see exploders pop up every couple of minutes, and they're going to come straight for you and try to take you out by exploding on top of you. Dreadnoughts are the boss-like creatures of Deep Rock Galactic, where they go through invulnerable stage, and then shielded stage, and then damage phase. So this time around we got the Hive Guard. It's invulnerable. When it's invulnerable, there'll be sentinels that'll be coming after you. You need to take out those sentinels before you can progress. Once those are down, then it'll be shielded. They'll have 3 little antennae or fronds or whatever you want to call them, and then once you take down the antenna, then it's time to do damage. Do as much damage as quickly as possible before it goes immune, and then just rinse and repeat until you take them out.
Almost there.
Now, the black box is a zone control. Need to stay within that bubble for progress to be made. The more people that are in the bubble, the faster it'll go. The fewer, the slower it'll go. And if nobody's in the bubble, you'll start losing progress, and quite rapidly. If you get down to 0%, then you have failed the deep dive, and you'll have to start over from stage number 1. Once you get up to 100%, then you can progress on, take out any more dreadnoughts that you still have. If you've already taken care of the dreadnoughts and the black box, then you're ready to get out. Go ahead and call on the drop pod and make your way
Deep dive stage
to
was completed.
the landing zone, wherever that happens to be. You'll see the symbol on the screen, so you'll know approximately at least what direction it's going to be. Once it drops down, the mule is going to make its way over there, just like a normal mission.
Departing in T-minus 5 minutes.
If you know where it's at, then you can make your way there and not have to wait for the mule, or you can just follow the mule back. Whatever you want to do. You either have to fight the hordes while you're on the way back, or you have to defend the area while the mule makes its way back to the drop pod and docks. It's up to you. There's not one right or wrong way to do it, and it's not like either one is easier or harder. So you just have to make your way however you want to, whatever you think is best. Now, I find personally that running behind the mule in general, you don't have to deal with as many bugs because you can run past some of them and then they have to try and catch up to you. Now, this is a good time to point out that everything carries over from one stage to the next. That includes your ammo, your health, your grenades, traversal tools, everything, including what's in your pockets. So if things are getting a little dicey and you have to get directly on the drop pod and don't have time to drop it in the mule or on the side of the drop pod, those materials will still be in your pockets when you go on to the next stage. Now, obviously, on stage 3, you'll want to deposit everything before you get on the drop pod.
Close all hatches. We're going to
That's it for stage 2. Going on to stage number 3. Now, one of the main reasons to do this deep dive is for matrix cores, which will give you cosmetics, skins, and of course, overclocks for your weapons. On to the third and final stage of the deep dive. This time around, we have no modifiers, which is great, but we're dealing with quarks. We have to collect those quarks, which means there's no mule on this stage. Additionally, you also have to recover a black box.
you'll pull through. Let's get this thing wrapped up nice.
So you have to be your own mule. You have to take all the minerals and the quarks from around the level and then drop them into the rig. Once the rig drops down, that is, which it'll do right at the beginning, but it does take about a minute for it to show up. The black box, once again, zone control.
Box ready and
Go ahead and stay within that zone, and the more people that are there, the faster it'll go. The fewer people, the slower it'll go. Once you get up to 100%, then you can carry on with your mission. Quarks, of course, you're going to look for the blue specks that are glowing on the side. Dig towards the blue light, pick up that quark, that big chunk, and take it back to the rig. Now, there are times where the levels aren't entirely connected or aren't connected with that compacted dirt. So you may have to look at your terrain scanner and kind of look around. The quarks themselves are not on the terrain scanner. So the other thing is that even though there's no regional minerals, you could have a hoarder on a mission which does have the regional minerals. Get as many guns on it as possible and take it out before it disappears. So you do have the possibility of getting some regional materials, but there's no guarantee. get all those quarks, and don't forget about the gold and nitra. Of course, gold will give you extra credits at the end of the deep dive. Nitra keeps you flush with ammo because that'll let you call in resupplies. Once you have the last quark in there and you've done the black box, you can send the rig back up to orbit and get out. But you have to wait 2 minutes for the rig to get up before that drop pod can be called in. And then, of course, it takes another 30 seconds or so for that drop pod to show up. But once it does, make your way over to it and get out. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Loot bug looted! Yeah. Never felt better. Bug Trap 2.0. Don't get too attached now. I got it! Getting supply! Sticky grenade!
Keep it together. Drop pod is en route. Drop pod has landed and is ready for takeoff. Drop pod departing in T-minus 3 minutes.
Access provided. Sticky grenade deployed. Attack! I ordered a resupply.
Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
Destroy. God damn it, there's a pebble in my boot.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 2 minutes. Hang in there. Supplies are on the way.
Done. Ready to be built. Sentry off. It's past your expiration date. Resupply arrived. Go restock. Ammo taken. That hit the spot. Getting more ammo. Sticking it to the bug. Don't get too attached now. Rockety rockin' stone.
Extraction commencing. Good work.
Rockin' stone, the pretty sound of teamwork. You!
PlayStation